This is actually going to be such a pain to edit after. Hi, welcome back to my channel, Accidental Beauty. If you're new, welcome. My name's Laura. I post videos once a week, mainly about makeup and sometimes about hair, fashion, lifestyle, beauty, all that good stuff. So if that sounds interesting to you, then please subscribe to my channel and hit that notification button so you guys get updates whenever I upload a new video. I'm also on Instagram and Twitter. I've got links for my social media accounts and discount codes, affiliate links, all that in the description box below. So I would really appreciate it if you guys could check that out and follow me on my other social media platforms. That would be super appreciated. Today, I'm going to be doing a first impressions and review and makeup tutorial creating this look that you see on my face using the City Color Matte and Shimmer 24 Shade Shadow Palette. This is the Carnival one. This was actually gifted to me by my friend and coworker Marz. So thank you so much for this palette. I really had fun trying it out and really appreciate you giving this to me. So if you guys want to see how I created this look on my eyes right here, then please keep on watching. I've never heard of this. No, that's actually not true. I heard of this brand very recently, like literally 2-3 weeks ago. I went to Winners, which is pretty much like Marshall's, TJ Maxx, TK Maxx, like sort of a store that sells discounted, high-end and brand name like makeup and clothing and stuff, usually discontinued stuff or old stock, that sort of thing. They sometimes have just sort of like random brands as well, which I'm not sure where they come from. So I've only heard of this brand relatively recently, and then I checked out their social media accounts just to kind of see, like, you know, is this a relatively well-known brand? How do the shadows perform? Like, I didn't want to know too much before filming this video, but I just kind of wanted to see if this was like a legit brand. So it turns out it's a legit brand. They have quite a large presence on social media. I can't remember. I'll just put up their Instagram page so you guys can see, and I'll link them as well in the description box. So I'm just going to jump right into it. I don't know what kind of look I want to do. I want to use as many shades as possible, but then I'm also going to be swatching them on my arm. I want to do something bold and colorful because there are a lot of really nice bright colors, but then there are also a lot of really nice smoky shades as well. So just looking at this, I kind of want to do like a green, blue, purple kind of look. I think I'll just play with it and have fun. So it kind of reminds me of BH Cosmetics packaging. It says it's not tested on animals. It doesn't have carmine, which I'm allergic to, so that's great. It's distributed by this Canadian company, but it's made in China. And then the packaging itself, it's like a hard, sturdy plastic. Kind of reminds me of like Morphe or other sort of similar types of brands packaging. And then it comes with a little like film, which is great because there's already a bit of fallout on here. This actually reminds me quite a bit of the BH Cosmetics Modern Mattes palette. And I think there's a couple Morphe palettes, like the Discontinued Brights palette comes to mind. Okay, some of the colors on here, I don't know if you can really tell on camera, but in person, they're not exactly the same as they are on the box. So that's kind of a disappointment. As far as pigmentation, like, I only know what I saw on social media, and obviously everything is retouched, and who knows how many times someone blended something or how long it took them to blend things. I didn't watch anyone's reviews yet, so this is just purely my opinion, nothing to kind of like sway my opinion. So anyways, I've been talking way too long, so I'm just gonna get into this. So I kind of feel like dipping into this bright yellow to start off with, and I'm gonna put that in my crease. Huh, okay, it's like nice pigmentation so far. I mean, it's kind of light, but it is a light color. I don't even know if you can actually see it on camera. Okay, so there is like quite a bit of fallout in here, which normally I don't mind, but it's kind of like, I guess because the packaging. I don't even know if you can actually see it right now, but because the plastic is so shiny, it just kind of like, it looks messy. Like I feel like I'm gonna have to clean in between each thing every time I use this, but it's not the biggest deal. Okay, now I kind of want to dip into this bright orange. So what I think I'm going to do is sort of dip into these two, kind of mix them together, and then just focus on the outer corner. I actually have like zero plan right now. No, you know what? I'm going to focus on the inner corner and then try and use some of the other shades on the outer corner and try and build up like something. Okay, that looks nice. I don't even know if you can actually see that well, but oh, it looks very summery actually. It matches my hair, which, yeah, you can see it. My hair is orange now. Next, I'm going to dip into this red, so like this, and sort of mix it with a little bit of this sort of cranberry color. And I'm gonna wow, it's very powdery. I'm gonna focus that towards the outer half of my lid crease area thing. Okay, all these colors kind of look the same to me. I don't know if I love the look that I'm doing, but whatever, it's a little too late to stop. Okay, so I'm just gonna take a small blending brush and just kind of blend the edges of what I've just done, just so it's not so harsh. Okay, yeah. So this is what I was kind of worried about, that when I start blending, the pigmentation kind of disappears. I mean, it doesn't look too bad on camera from what I can see in the viewfinder right now, but in person, it just kind of lost that intensity. So I think I'm just going to dip into that first, like, dark red shade, like the brighter red, and just kind of try and build that back up. I mean, it's really not terrible, but like, this isn't the worst palette I've ever used. It's actually quite nice. It reminds me a lot of the same quality as BH Cosmetics, which is like, it's a solid brand. It's not my favorite, but it's definitely like a really good, affordable brand, especially for someone who's interested in getting better at makeup and sort of doesn't want to splurge on like a really expensive palette just to learn to develop your skills. BH Cosmetics is a great brand, so this sort of feels like the same quality, where it's good. It's not amazing, but I like it. I mean, so far pigmentation is great. So I've only worked with a couple shades, so I could be blown away by some of these blues and greens. So I think I kind of want to do a cut crease actually. I thought there were shimmers in here. Hold on. These all look like mattes. There's like one or two shades that look like they have like the slightest hint of a shimmer, but I'm not seeing any shimmers right now. So I'm going to cut my crease. So I'm going to get some concealer. I haven't done a cut crease in a really long time. I really enjoy like talking at the camera, but then it's such a pain for me to edit after because most of my videos I pre-upload. So I'll like have a day where I can edit like 3 or 4 videos, and then I upload them in advance, and then they all go up gradually, but then I'm still filming at the same time. So a lot of the stuff that I'm talking about is already like out of date by the time I post things. And then also because I'm not filming every day, I'm not practicing my skills. So I feel like my skills could be a lot better than they are if I actually had time to do makeup every day. Like this kind of makeup. I don't know what the deal is with these shadows, and all of them look pretty matte to me. I'm going to take one of these lighter ones and just kind of lightly set my lids. I don't want to set them completely with powder because I'm going to be adding more powder on top. So I think I'm just going to take this one over here. And now I'm just going to blend my crease, just so that line isn't super harsh. Now, I'm really excited to go into these blues and greens. So what I'm thinking is I might do like green, blue, turquoise, and then purple underneath my lids. So let's see how that goes. I actually really like the pigmentation on this one. I actually quite like that color. I feel like I might wear that often because it's like pretty and wearable, but it still packs a little punch of color. Oh, this stuff is really powdery. It's really getting in my eyes. You know what, actually? These are really nice, like if you sort of look at them as pastels, I think they can be really, really pretty. They don't pack as much pigment as they appear to in the pans, which is kind of unfortunate, but they're very like spring pastels. So I like that actually. Okay, so because I feel like I'm losing a bit of that yellow that I started with, I'm actually gonna go back into it now and just kind of go like at the very edge of the crease just to try and bring that back. All right, next I'm going to dip into a little bit of that darker blue because then I want to use these smoky kind of like grayish, navy-ish turquoise shades right in the outer crease to make it really, really smoky looking. So I'm only going to use a little bit of this darker blue. Okay, yeah, that is not giving me the pigment I want. Okay, there we go. That's better. Okay, yeah, we're getting some fallout in the crease. Okay, I'm just gonna mix some of that lighter blue just to kind of blend that. I feel like that's all getting lost here. Okay, that's better. You know what? This is actually looking really nice. The blues and the greens are performing really nicely. And you know what? Actually, the yellow, once you kind of layer it a couple times, it's actually working really, really nicely. I'm going to go into this dark turquoise, but then quickly go into this navy on the very outer corner. And because I'm stamping it on, I don't really have the control that I really want. Okay, yeah, I'm not liking the way that color looks next to the cobalt blue. So I'm just gonna go over that with the blue and then go into that last shade that I mentioned before. And hopefully this will be more what I'm looking for. Because I'm not super loving the way that the corners are looking, I'm just gonna dip into a little bit of the black and yeah, just darken that because I want it to be like a really smoky edge, not dramatic but just smoky, or like dramatic but not super dark. So I dipped this mini blender brush into those two sort of navy colors, and then now I'm trying to blend that all with the black and all the blues. It seems to be working like better on this side because more pigment seemed to stamp on here. That's what I was worried about, that these blues would kind of be a bit tricky to perform. Oh yeah, and I'm getting fallout. Probably should have put powder down. I was not thinking. Okay, from a distance that actually looks really, really nice. The green and the sort of teal lighter blue, like the cyan, I guess, just really bring this look together. I actually kind of like it. So now I'm going to take a flat, really thin brush, and I'm excited to dip into some of these purples. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start... where should I start? I think I'm going to start with this pinky color on the inner corner and then move to these sort of cooler tone purples towards the outer part of my lower lash line. Oh, I just got powder in my eyes. There definitely is quite a bit of fallout. I've got some stuff under my eyes that I'm not thrilled about. Okay, but I mean, the look itself actually, it blended pretty nicely. Like, even the blues performed actually quite nice. Just gonna blend this side out a little bit more. I don't know what else I can do, so I think I'm gonna go finish off my look. I'm back. I put on some falsies, eyeliner, mascara. I think that's it. So now my face is all finished, so I'll just show you guys the final look. You know what? I'm really happy with the way that this look turned out. Some of the lighter shades don't have a whole lot of pigment, and in general, these eyeshadows are lightly pigmented, so I would almost call this more of like a pastel palette than a bright palette. They call this a carnival one, which to me, I think of like really bright colors. I guess I sort of associate it with like the Take Me to Brazil family palettes from BH Cosmetics, so kind of like Caribbean, Brazilian, like festivals and bright colors and stuff like that. So just looking at this, it kind of threw me off. And even then, like the way that these colors were edited on the carton, they look deeper, they look more saturated. I went into it with certain expectations, I guess. That being said, I guess I'm glad that, like, just sort of selfishly based on my collection of makeup, I'm glad that they didn't look exactly like how they appear on the carton, just because I own the BH Cosmetics Modern Mattes palette, and that one just looks very similar to this. So I'm glad that I have more pastels now in my collection. I think they performed really, really prettily, actually. Like some of these sort of the more like vibrant or like brighter shades, so like the yellow not as much, but like the oranges, the reds, the greens, the blues especially, even the purples actually perform quite nicely. However, I am a very fair-skinned person, so on someone with a much deeper skin tone, would these show up as brightly? I don't know. I can't say for sure. I'm gonna take a guess and say probably not, just because of the amount of pigment. I could be wrong, and with a primer or an eyeshadow base, you might be able to get a bit more pigment out of these. Another thing that I might have mentioned earlier, but I thought there was something in here. This palette is called Matte and Shimmer. I swatched all of these. I did not see a single shimmer in here, so I don't know what that's all about. I mean, it's a lovely matte palette, but if you're going to call it Matte and Shimmer, then have it Matte and Shimmer. Just a thought. But yeah, so overall, so I swatched all of these. I'll put swatches up now. So this is what all the shades look like swatched. I really like the blues and greens especially, like they just swatch really nicely. They perform quite nicely. Some of the smoky colors, like I'm really excited to play with those a bit more, especially when it's more like fall time, so I can create more grungy looks. But yeah, it's interesting actually. I didn't really notice this until I swatched them. The top two rows are pretty much all warm tones, and then the bottom two rows are mostly cool tones. There are a couple warm tones, but you could pretty much split this palette in two and create looks with like the top half and then looks with just the bottom half. The way that the shades are laid out in the pan as well make it very nice, and sort of pretty easy to just pick this up, especially for a beginner, and just create a look. Just, I think I'm gonna take these 4 shades over here and create a look, and these 4 shades down here, and so on and so forth. So as far as like beginner friendliness or like ease of use, I think it's a good starter palette. I think there are better palettes out there on the market, but I mean, it's quite nice. It's a really nice spring pastel kind of palette. I quite like it. I want to give it a 3.5, only because it seems to only work more for like lighter skin tones, just based on the amount of pigmentation in there. Because it's a good palette, I liked it. I don't think it's universal, so I think it's a good palette. I don't have a whole lot of bad things to say about it. Like, I didn't really struggle so much using it, but I wouldn't say it's a great palette. So that has been my first impressions and review. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys next time.